been to Germany to attend international directors seminar, and there I was surprised to see and know that all over Germany there are hundreds of theater that are only for children. There the plays will take place only for children. This is children's theater. Sorry, not for adults. The performances will be for children. This is something unimaginable for us, right? We will just we will request, can we perform there? Can children perform there? We will not even take children to theaters to show them plays. Forget about doing that. It's very difficult. I mean, they will have to adjust in the school facility only. Very few schools will take them to professional theater. So why I am telling this? Because there are people who are passionate, who are after this motto. That's yes, professional performance is one way of giving them exposure of good theater art. That is also one important area. If you do not show them good theater, whatever they see in a school, whatever they see in the neighborhood, they think this is the great theater. Yes, this is all one. So we have to show them the higher taste. We have to show them the classic things, whatever is possible. That is what international is doing. Coming back home, like we always say, and during this webinar, I have been observing the questions. Who will tell us? Who will give us? How to know this? Are there researches? Have there researches? How to? How will we take it easily that yes, this is um, well proved thing and all that? So, dear friends, a lot of research is done, and we have our own. Before I talk about the research, I have to say one thing. When we are talking about theater and education, it is very important to know education. It's very unfortunate that some people do not have the understanding of education, much understanding of education, and they enter into the schools and they start educating the people who are there for years and years. And because they know some theater and they think they can do theater, educational theater. That is some misconception at some point. You have to have good grounding in education. What is education all about? And also, the other side is if you are very much educated, you have a good background of education, you are taking theater lightly. All right, we know it's okay. Yes, you want to do theater, you want to make them acting and all that. They do not take this theater art seriously because they do not know what are the possibilities, what is the potential of theater. So there already is a big divide between theater and education. Then where to go for a better understanding, where to find a platform where we can see all these things and we can enhance our understanding. So we know the apex education body in India, NCERT, National Council of Educational Research and Training. You can show the slide. Yes, this is a body, you can see in the slide. NCERT is an autonomous organization set up in 61 by the government of India to assist and advise the central and state governments on policies and programs for qualitative improvement in the school education. The major objectives of NCERT and its constituent units are to undertake, promote, and coordinate research. Main work is research in areas related to school education. So all areas related to education. Prepare and publish model textbooks, supplementary materials, newsletters, journals, and develop training of teachers. So they are there, as the name suggests, they are there for research, they are there for training, and this is the highest body. And we have not been looking at it actually. We have not been using this body, this resource, and we are running here and there after people, after some little institutions tell us how to do it, tell us the theory behind it and all. So this organization has done a lot of research work also in the field of arts. So everybody knows the position paper of National Curriculum Framework of these all arts. Next slide, please. Oh yes, this is one slide that is a the reach of this institution in the form of regional institutions is from Delhi to Ajmer, Bhopal, Bhubaneswar, Mysore, and Shillong. Next slide, please. We will not stay there. Yeah, so this is the position paper that has been published after a lot of research, though it was published in 2005, and the new paper is going to publish very soon, I think. The national policy, national curriculum framework is new framework is yet to be published. So this position paper makes everything clear why we want this art, music, dance, and theater in schools. We have to have a look at this. Next slide, please. So directly to the point. So they say, broadly speaking, this focus group, I mean the group which was devoted only for this arts paper, strongly recommends the following step. I would like to read the first step, not all the steps. Arts education must become a subject. See, the language must become a subject taught in every school as a compulsory subject. See, the language must compulsory up to 10th, and facilities for the same may be provided in every school. The four main streams covered by the term arts education are music, dance, visual arts, and theater. A special emphasis may be given to Indian traditional arts, which currently face the threat of being drowned out by so-called mainstream and popular arts. So all the other points, like how should we do the orientation, or who should be responsible, next slide please, and what kind of campaigns we can go, how to advocate this, where should lay the emphasis, and where or what are the resources, everything is written here. Next slide please. and and see, you can see there are all nitty gritties, like what should be the curriculum of art education for primary, what should be the curriculum of visual arts or performing arts, drama, music, dance, and curriculum. There are, everything is there. Next slide, please. This has something to do with National Curriculum Framework 2005, and that suggests, that tells us, please understand the education scenario first and then do anything else. So this is the document, very important document. I think Krishna Kumar was director at that time, and this document says, I mean, everyone who wants to work in the field of education, he or she should go through this document first. What is National Curriculum Framework? What do we want to teach? What should be our education like? What is curriculum? We have to understand these terms. What is curriculum? What is syllabus? What is textbook? So we will get a better scenario of all this. So next slide, please. In this book, they will tell us, this book will tell us, this document will tell us perspective, how to look at things, how to look at education scenario, what is learning, what is knowledge, what are curricular areas, what are the assessment of areas, what is classroom environment, and what are semantic reforms. Sorry. So it deals in detail that if you have the understanding of all these fields, then you have some understanding of education, and then you can place your work accordingly. Otherwise, it will be very crude, it will be very superficial without the understanding of education. You go in an educational setup and you say, I know this, I know that, because just knowing how to work with children and just knowing your skill or your job is not enough. When we read this, when we study this curriculum framework, then we get an idea where are we placed, what is the big umbrella, what is the big picture, and where is the picture of theater, or theater in education or theater in education work placed, if I know where I am and how I am placed, I am going to work more meaningfully. Next slide, please. All this takes to understand this. If we have an understanding of this, if we believe on the most important book, which is least read book, I think, unfortunately, most of us, I think, talk about this book, but I think this is the book which has not been read by most of us also, including me, only parts of it. And to understand this only preamble, we will understand the scenario of our country, and then we will understand the scenario where we are placing, where we are going to, where this education, because every time and again we say, yes, we want to make better human beings. And here are the indicators, those human beings who will strengthen all these ideas, all these concepts, I think, will be understood as better human beings. So we have a very broader picture of a human being, a citizen, also when we go through all these documents. Next slide, please. Yes. So this was philosophy part. So what does NCRT is doing something also on ground, or just doing researches and publishing it? Though that is very important also, because many practitioners just don't study. They say, I practice and I believe in practice, but your study, your theory gives meaning to practice. Stories, that is very important to understand. So not only the researches, and the national curriculum framework is not made by just some people sitting in NCRT all over the India. For many years, they have discussing with people and experts who have the international exposure and who have been around the world and who have been studying. After that, this document was made, this national curriculum framework. And then out of that, that NCF or that position paper was made. Then other attempts are done by NCRT, and I had the opportunity of being in the committees who were developing like this one. I was in this committee also that was developing this art integrated learning. So here are guidelines how to go with it, what kind of basic understanding we should have before we go for art and integrated learning. Next slide, please. This is a kind of guidebook published by NCERT. Next, please. There are some pictures from this book, so please next. See, arts can have unimaginable things to do. Unimaginable. This is just an assembly scene of a school, not a, which assembly we see generally in a parlor. They have decided to in a different way, just assembly scene. So there are so many other things, so many experiments related to arts are there in this program. Next, please. Yeah. Next, please. Next. These are some pictures. Oh, oh. So before I go to Council for the Indian Certificate Examination, I would like to speak a little more about NCERT. So NCERT, what did it do in ground? So they developed this art integration program, art integrated learning, and they made it sure that the training goes to all over India, to all states, as at least to some teachers in all states. And they targeted for 42 lakh teachers. And in last few years, they have reached to 39 lakh teachers. And the idea of art integrated education is arts has now become an international term, which does not mean visual arts. When we say arts, all arts come in it: theater, dance, music, visual arts. So when I say arts education, please take it for all arts. So this art integrated program included all arts, and they would do 10 days of training with different teachers, and they will be oriented in different arts so that they make their classrooms more creative and more interesting for children. That is what NCR. And last year, I the government of India further put a stamp to their work because it was going good. All the teachers who were getting exposure to this work, including drama and theater, they were mesmerized. They were like, nobody was giving this training because they are getting training, particular teaching training, and their arts are not taken so much seriously. It comes like an entertainment. Oh, you do a play, you make a drawing, and that is all. But sometimes some serious facilitator may come to diets and other institutes. That is another thing. But I am telling you the general scenario. But Government of India launched a program that is known as NIShtha. You will not find here on slide, NISSTHA. That is National Initiative for School Heads and Teachers Holistic Advancement. The government realizes that, first of all, the teacher's holistic advancement is important. After that, students' holistic development will be possible. And they have made 17 modules for this, that every teacher should go through these all models. And one of the modules is art integrated learning. They every teacher has to go through that. So all that kind of work is being done by NCRT, and they are very much hopeful that in coming future, arts is going to be a subject. They are very hopeful about that, and they are also advocating the idea of arts as an independent stream. They say why arts come under humanities. If I have to go for arts, let me go for arts. If I want to graduate, then I can choose music also, theater also, or some dance also. Don't tell me to opt for some social subject. So arts should be a different stream. So in coming few years, we are hopeful that some new changes are coming, and it is important that we know all these changes. Like why I am showing this Council for Indian School Certificate Examination. We know CBSE, I think more than CISE, what is written here. CBSE we know, and we know, I think in this webinar, we have heard about the theater studies course that was launched by CBSE. But CISE has gone one step further. It is very interesting to know. They have developed a curriculum of performing arts from class 1 to class 8. And this has happened for the first time in India by any education board. A curriculum of performing arts from class 1 to class 8. And they have published it. I had the opportunity of being in that team. So I want to show you how what is there in this curriculum. Next slide, please. So this is the book. And all this is available online. The PDF is available. Lot of material, research material is available. I will be making available it to the friends here, and then we can spread that. So this is performing arts classes 1 to 5. So they say all arts are important at this primary and elementary level. Why only theater? Why only drama? The children must be given exposure to all arts at the primary and elementary level. So here, because visual arts are already there, they have been making drawing and painting, and we have been seeing that we have even art teachers, visual art teachers, but we don't have performing art teachers generally, only in some few private schools. So next, please. So they tell what is it about, why performing arts are important, what can be the objectives. I want to go to this. We know the objectives. In fact, next, please. This is the structure of this whole thing, and it is done after a lot of hard work. And they are not teaching a particular art like acting or dancing. No, they have divided all arts. They are taking all arts through these areas. Like they will work on sound, work on speech. They will work on space. They will work on rhythm, body movement, composition. What is art vocabulary? What is performance? Art appreciation. This is a very holistic course. They have a curriculum they have developed. wonderful. You must have a look at this. My point is, people in India are working and working hard. It is only that we are not getting to know this, and we are not reaching to this work. We are passionate, but we don't know where to go and where to find the good work already done. Actually, all that is done already, we should take next step from there. And what is happening? We are not able to reach up to that point, which has been done 25 years back, 30 years back. Next, please. And then they will give a very small introduction to each, why they are introducing what is sound, dhwani, nad, everything there. So why should they be introduced with sound? Where will it take? How the sound with the journey of sound will take them further to the journey of music, maybe, and about space. Next, please. So rhythm, body movement, composition, all the sense of all these things, and explaining everything. What is it? Next, art vocabulary. Developing art vocabulary is also important. And in my last talk, my concern was we are not having a common vocabulary because my English is something else, your English is something else, and we are trying to communicate in the language which which I really don't prefer. I'm very comfortable in Hindi. I will speak very nicely, and maybe Pralayan sir will speak very nicely in Tamil, but then he will have some hesitation in explaining himself in English, and the same with me. But I agree because I don't know that language, you don't know that language. So we are working in a language of or what you say, udhar ka bhasha, udhar ki bhasha. Next, please. Everything is there. What will be the learning outcomes? What you should do? This is from class 1 to 3. Then there is from class 4 and 5th, and then there is separate section. No, another book, separate book that deals with class 6 to 8. Next, please. And this is the general structure inside. How they are helping a teacher to do all this. In the first column, they are suggested areas or content. In the second column, suggested transactional processes. And it is in detail, given in detail, how to do it. And important thing is this document is made keeping in mind the teacher who is not an expert of any art. Any teacher who has a good grounding in education, who is good in teaching and mingling with children, he or she can do it. He can do it. And accordingly, all the details are there. Suggested transactional processes, and in the third column, suggested learning resources. Where are the resources? Where can you find the resources given in detail? All activities, all areas, all objectives dealt in detail. That is the work of CISC. A great job done. It is published, it is available. So in India, we have certain things to be proud of actually, and we are not able to reach that. Next, please. Oh, so back please. Can we move back? Um, all right. So I forgot to add a slide. Like NCRT has published some books on one book on music and one book on theater because this is theater and education seminar. So they have published a book known as Joy of Theater, and that is for class 6 to 8. And how to do with the children, how to do theater, what are the possibilities with theater with class 6 to 8 children. NCRT has published a book, Joy of Theater, available online also in their website. That's a very interesting book. And yes, I was in that process also. So I would say that you must watch that and review that book also, right? So we can go to next slide if you want. um see, so if we have done a lot of research we are happy, our people are doing great job, but that does not mean that we do not look outside India, outside my city, my state. So I want to share a little about when I did a short study in England, but that study was creative drama and creative arts in education. So what was different there? Many things were not as good as they were already there. My understanding of it was 10 years back when I was studying there. My understanding was good enough, but certain things were there which impressed me. I mean, first of all, they have a good archive of research and case studies. You ask them and they will have a good, great archive. And we know because it was only in 60s when theater education actually started there in Belgrade, but that is not the point of discussion here. The point is lot of research, and the school and outside school are ready to collaborate. They will ask, do you have any good idea? We want to collaborate. That is good thing. And here in India, I find it difficult to enter in a school. They are not very open, though our national curriculum framework says that open the walls of the school for outside people, outside experts. And they mean not only drama or art experts. Experts can be any handicraft expert, a farmer, um, any manual worker is also. And if you are making a sweet in a restaurant, you are also an expert, and they should come in the school. Here I saw the primary school children visiting the campus of a university. And we were like, what are they doing here? Is it a picnic place? I said, no. There is a connection of between the university and the primary schools also. Here we cannot imagine it. Why should children go to see a university campus? And why a professor should talk to primary school teachers? They are primary school teachers. But they forget that that is the foundation stage, and those who are coming to them have gone through that journey, and you have to update yourself always what kind of journey they are coming through. You have to update yourself with the primary researches, primary education researches, and primary education is no less important than higher education. That was one beautiful thing. And all of us know that in every third university, they will have a course in theater, related to theater, not mainstream theater, theater and education, play therapy, drama in education, applied drama. They will have all these courses. That means there are takers. That means they are taking it seriously. And that means some practitioners will always grow. And we had the opportunity of visiting many schools, primary school, and there were theater experts who will be invited to school. One day we had been to a school to see a history, a theater expert who teaches history especially, and he had a big box, and he was on particular day he was there to teach history of a particular period, some Tudor dynasty or something like that. And then they will have the costumes of that period. They will have the spices of the period, how they smell. They will have maps of that period. They will have written material of that period, books of that period, and they will create an atmosphere. The children will just, I mean, go to that period of history, and the whole class uh, gets immersed through that through theater that goes back to history, and it starts living in that period. That was wonderful. So there is a lot to learn what is happening around the world. That is one thing that I wanted to make a point. Next, please. Oh, nothing. Okay, thank you. So, yeah, you can keep that merging point on the first slide. You can keep it there, or you can close this, right? Um, so, back and forth, we have to travel outside our zone and come back. Like like this webinar is getting in touch with each other within India, and maybe in next seminar we have more people from outside India. Um, so coming back to India, there are some practices that are wonderful. I in this current year, I was taking classes of BLEd, Bachelor of Elementary Education in Delhi University, in three colleges of Delhi University. Delhi University has this very unique course of 4 years for teachers, and this is the only university, maybe one or two other universities are doing this, but Delhi University has a very different course, 4 year course for teachers, and this is valued a lot in Delhi NCR. The schools are looking for these teachers very much. I mean, when they are even studying, the schools will visit the colleges to take them. They are very much in demand. Why I am mentioning that? In the first year and third year, they have theater component. They have theater in their syllabus. These would be teachers. They have made it sure that theater comes very strongly in their training. And what do they do in first year and what do they do in third year? In first year, theater is for themselves. They have to grow. They have to understand. They have to go to the, we have been discussing a lot in this webinar, and it makes you realize your potential, creative potential. It uh, allows you to meet yourself. You get to know more about you. That happens in first year. And believe me, and like any other workshop, their experience is great. I mean, that is very meaningful. And they complain why in last 12 years we were not introduced to theater. This should be introduced in each and every school. Why were we not exposed to this treasure of theater, which makes you think, we make you analyze, which makes you empathetic and compassionate, which makes you, which teaches you to listen to others' pain and all. This is the experience of first year students. I have lot of feedback from them every year. I have been taking these classes for last 10 years actually. And in the third year is for them to explore theater, the possibilities of theater in the classroom. What can theater do in the classroom? So then there comes all the complexities which we have been avoiding to discuss here, because that needs a bit of understanding what is the process, what is process drama, or what is the process where we are not talking about any performance. And that process has certain principles, certain philosophy, certain background, and certain grounding. Only then we can understand that. So I will not really go to details of those activities, but the focus in third year is what is the use of drama or theater to teach different subjects. Again, so this is, I mean, this is marked, this is valued, this is not an extracurricular thing there, very important thing, as it has been throughout our courses in schools, in spite of the strong recommendation of NCRT. The implementation is yet far away. So that is the brief picture of research and resource and the work, available work done around us. And if you really want to work in this area, we have a lot in store, and we need people who really want to jump into it and dig out material for themselves. Because I said the problem is theater people don't bother to study much about education, and education people think theater is not worth understanding more. So with that, I think whatever I wanted to say in in this talk right now, I think I have more or less finished that. Um, Now we can we can have a chit chat if we want. Um, Otherwise, we can end up here. Upendran sir, why are you so serious? You have some serious questions, it seems. So let's now, if we have some questions, not only questions, comments, because I am no authority of like responding to questions. Oh, it should happen like this. Actually, whatever I have said, this is part of your experience also. Whatever questions you have, I have also those questions. That is why on the first day I said I have questions more than answers, because we have to work together, we have to understand together, and we have to be part of this movement. We have to make it movement together. We cannot rest on when some other people will call us and say do this and do that. Sorry, I stop here again.
Thank you so much, sir, for this again the wonderful session. So I would like to the participants, you can ask question directly to the